Tell us a story. Please, Granny.
Yeah, please!
Once upon a time, there was an orphan girl named Cameron who lived in a land
far, far away. She was very lonely and uncomfortable in her own skin. She always felt disconnected in her own world and did not have any friends. Cameron had a journal where she expressed her feelings toward everything. In the journal, Cameron wrote about all her desires, her questions, and people who she had problems with. Her journal was her best and only friend. Her most frequent entry was that she did not fit in. She longed to be friends with Cindy, William, and Alice.
I wish I wasn't surrounded by people who are pig-headed and cruel.
As Cameron wrote these questions, something strange started happening. Writing began to appear in her journal with more questions. Cameron was in shock and could hardly move, but after a short pause, she began to write again.
I hate everyone. Why don't they try to understand me? I have never done anything to them.
Cameron shut her book and began to make her way back to the orphanage. Later that night, as the lights were turned off, and Cameron lay in bed wondering about the strange occurrences that had happened earlier that day in the park, she could not come up with an explanation. Confounded, Cameron crawled out of bed and walked down the long, dark, silent hall to the mirror.
Who are you? My name's Cameron. Who are you? Are you gonna answer me? I'm confused. You can't be Cameron. I'm Cameron. This is odd. I was thinking the same thing.
This girl in the mirror that was supposed to be her began telling her about her day and how these strange occurrences had happened while she was writing in her journal up to this very moment.
You seem very sad in a happy world. You know, I wish I was you. The way you described your world, I very much want to be there. Lucky. Do you think we probably got mixed up somehow? Because I don't think I was intending to be here. Actually, I was about to say the same thing. I mean, what else can explain this? Well, maybe there might be some kind of portal that we can use to, switch places. I think you're right. I say tomorrow we go and look for these portals.
So both girls wandered back to the bed. They fell into a deep sleep with the hope for the first time that they would fit in and be understood. When she woke up, she knew she must find a way to get to the place that she had dreamed of. Cameron knew with all her heart that it was a real place, so she searched all day for a door back to what she believed was her true home. She searched the woods and all throughout the town, but failed to find anything. That night, exactly at midnight, just as the night before, she went to the mirror. There the girl was, waiting for her.
Well, I can see you haven't had any luck either. No, but I have been thinking, maybe it's right here where we first found each other. Of course, the mirror. Well, how do you suppose it works? Well, maybe if we wish really hard and believe, it could work. Guess we can try it.
This Cameron in the dark world was never fond of wishing nor believing in things. She thought it was pointless and a waste of time, but she was desperate to try anything. They were both in their beds and they ran to the mirror. They stared back at each other through the mirror for what they did not know would be their last time.
Goodbye. Be careful.
Okay. The girl in the bright world went right to making friends and fit in just fine. She sang and danced every day and everyone joined in with her. She and William fell in love. Even though the darker girl was in a dark world, she was no longer sad because it was where she felt she belonged. As she walked through the park that day, William came up to her and said,
Hello there. Would you like to come play with us?
Sure, I would love to.
replied Cameron as she went off to play with all the other boys and girls. And needless to say, They both
Needless
lived
to
happily.
say, they both lived happily ever after.
That was a great story. I love happy endings.
Okay, now it's time for bed.
Ugh. Fine.
Why didn't my mom have to text me like right at that moment to scare the crap out of me?
I zoomed in.
Just kiss her!